We're going to discuss on this video what beef patties have to do with mortgage protection. So I know you're all waiting to hear about that. We're still trying to get this so-called studio dialed in here. Sometimes it's on the road, sometimes in my office, sometimes it's just wherever I can pull the truck over on the way to maybe a mortgage protection or final expense appointment. On this channel, we discuss mortgage protection, final expense, living benefits, the riders that go along with that, annuities, and retirement protection, and the mindset that goes along with that. We discuss the facts, and we allow you to decide. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell. That gives you instant notifications of new videos. I'm trying to get one new video up a week. Today I'm going to do 3, hopefully, and get those out to you. Appreciate all the new subscribers. Thank you very much. Again, hopefully we can create a community here, people that are going to succeed in what this is an incredible opportunity, a great industry, and if you're with the right company that produces a high quality lead, you can change your life here. Whether you're on our team or not, I hope to help you do that. So stand by. I've got to put the beef patties back in the freezer before they thaw out, and then we'll continue on with the video. Okay, so welcome back. The beef patties are in their freezer. They're not going to get thawed out, and now we can continue on with this video. So let's first discuss what all businesses must do to get customers through the door. They must advertise. They're going to have to run coupons, local newspapers, maybe it's online advertising, whatever it is. They're spending money to get customers through the front door. If they don't, they open the door, no one knows they're there, right? So they have to get the customers through the front door in order for them to sell them a product, right? Look, in this business, most IMOs today will sell you a lead. Now, not all IMOs produce a great quality lead. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that in this business, you and I don't have to advertise. We can certainly work our friends, family, and neighbors, and you should do that. We should all advertise our business, because the main point of this whole video is that we're all in business for ourselves. This is not a job. You're not an employee. You're a 1099 contractor in most cases. And so you're going to have to make an investment into your business before you can make a withdrawal, before you can actually get a paycheck. And that's the difference between an employee mindset and a business mindset, right? So in this business, though, we don't have to go through a trial and error of having to figure out exactly where we can spend our money that's going to produce a high-quality lead. The IMOs do that, right? And so now all you have to do is make sure you're with an IMO that produces a high-quality lead. They don't play games with the recycling, the redating of it. And you're paying for what you get. And generally speaking, the leads cost vary based on age, right? But here's the deal. We know that all businesses must advertise in order to get customers through the door. Now, we don't have to advertise ourselves. They've done it for us. And now we don't have to get them through our front door. We're trying to get into their door, right? So it's a little bit different, but the same thing. We need people that are interested in our product, that we can sit down with and discuss with them the options and have a conversation. Hopefully that produces into a sale, right? So look, how valuable is that, right? We don't have to use our money to go through the trial and error of running advertising to figure out what works. These IMOs have figured out what works. Now all you have to do is get with one that has a lead program, that has integrity, that's selling you a lead for the right price, given the age of the lead, right? So we don't have to go through that trial and error and waste our money. They do all of that, right? Look, we don't have to call our friends, family, and neighbors. We don't have to knock on doors. We don't have to advertise using our limited funds. All we have to do is just make a decision that we're going to have a business mindset and, obviously work your business, work your friends, family, neighbors, and, anybody you come in contact with, right? But in order to create a sustainable, scalable income, you need to have a consistent flow of people that are interested in your product. And the leads do that, right? If we're working on referrals and maybe friends, family, neighbors, or we're going out and knocking on doors, which I would not recommend, you're not going to have a steady flow of customers. You're in the prospecting mode, not in the selling mode. And I think that's very important to understand. I want to stay in the selling mode. I don't want to be in the prospecting mode. My form of prospecting is I ask for referrals, and I pass out business cards. I let people know what business I'm in, but I don't want to go out there and knock on doors and try to generate a consistent amount of income that I need to support my family on cold calling, knocking on doors, and trying to drum up people that are maybe in my warm market or even cold market for that matter. It's much easier for me to go ahead and participate in a leads program and still market my business, but now I know that I have a consistent amount of people that I can talk to each week that have expressed an interest in my product. So again, how valuable is that? It's great, right? Look, so getting back to my beef patty analogy, I know you're down to figure out how these two things connect. Well, the point is that all businesses have raw materials, right? I'm trying to express to you that this is not unusual. This is just, if you were, some of you maybe never owned your own business before, this is not an unusual situation. If you open up a business, you're going to have either products that you sell, that you have to buy to sell to the consumer, and if you don't have those products, you don't have a business. Well, if you own a McDonald's franchise and you opened up the McDonald's store one day and you have, no beef patties, you ain't got no business, right? No beef patties, no business, right? If you had 3 beef patties, which leads to my next point, and you had 4 customers, someone's not going to get served, and you're going to shut down the door. So every business has raw materials that they buy to either sell direct, or they buy an assortment of raw materials to create a product to sell a customer. But I wanted to have some fun, so I got in my truck and I hit the road, and we're going to find examples of businesses that without those raw materials would not have a business. So let's take a look at this video. Okay, so I'm out of my office, I'm in the car, and we're going to do a little silliness here, and we're going to go out and find some examples of businesses that have raw materials. And without those raw materials, they don't have any business. So stand by, this should be fun. Okay, I'm outside the car now, and here's a good example of no beef patties, no business. McDonald's. I already told you what their raw materials were. Imagine opening this McDonald's every single day with no beef patties in the freezer. Or better yet, only 3 beef patties in the freezer. So McDonald's is our number 1. Let's go find some more examples. Starbucks. What are the raw materials at Starbucks? Well, of course, amongst a few others, but the most important one is what? Coffee. Imagine opening up the Starbucks store every day, no coffee beans, right? You'd be out of business before you even got open. Okay, so I'm losing daylight, but I wanted to go to this last one because I think it's a really, really great example to top the whole video off. Right there you can see Quick Quack Car Wash. What are their raw materials? Water. Imagine somebody turned off their water, they're out of business. So water is key to their success. They have to have water flowing through that machine that's very loud every single day when they come in to open up their business, or they're out of business before they even get to open the door. All right, so back to my office. Bye. Well, our materials are beef patties, right? We have to have leads in this business in order to get ourselves in front. You don't have to have, it's probably wrong terminology, but it really is an asset for you and I. That's the game changer in the business, in my opinion, because when I first started out with New York Life 35 years ago, they gave me a phone book, they gave me a cubicle, and they gave me some old case files of clients that had already decided they didn't want it anymore, and I was supposed to call them back up and see if they still wanted it, right? It's kind of a rough way to go. And then I was told, when you get done with that, go out there and hit the road and knock on some doors in the neighborhood and generate your own leads. That's what I'm talking about. So I'd much rather, work the world market, work my referrals, and then say, hey, I want to work 10 high-quality leads each week, but people that raised their hands and said, hey, I'm interested in getting some quotes. That way I'm spending the majority of my time kneecap to kneecap, face-to-face with somebody in their home, right? And that's the biggest part. So look, we call people that have asked us to call them. Look, if you work in the lead program with the right kind of IMO that has a high-quality lead program, we're calling people that are interested. Again, they've taken the time to reach out or reach back out from the advertising piece that the IMO has sent out to them. Now, again, we don't have to do any of this stuff because we can participate in what they've already created. The IMO, they send out hundreds of letters, and out of every 100 letters they send out, they get 1 back. Well, they still had to pay for those 99 letters that didn't come back, right? So that's an enormous amount of cost. You and I, we're only buying the one that came back, right? So shift your mindset a little bit and understand that it's powerful to be able to call people that have raised their hands, they've filled out a form, they've mailed it back in, or they've called back into a computerized IVR system and still are expressing the interest. All you and I have to do is figure out their medical conditions, run some rates, share with them some options, and go out there and help protect some families and their homes for their next generation. That's the power of being able to work with an IMO that has a high-quality lead program. And I keep saying the word high quality because a lot of IMOs have lead programs and they're not high quality. Let's discuss that for a second. Let's talk about just for a second what a high-quality lead is, in my opinion, or the differences. And I'm not going to name any names because when I do that, I get calls from attorneys threatening to sue me, and I've had to take down a few videos, right? And some of you have already figured that out, right? So. But the point is, you'll figure it out on your own if you do a little bit of research. Some of these IMOs, they're marketing a free child safety kit. So you and I run around and we're delivering free child safety kits, and in order for them to get the kit, they got to sit through a presentation. Well, I don't do that. I think it's unethical. It's actually bait and switch. It could be borderline on illegal. And then here again, we're trying to convince them. We're in the convincing mode of convincing people they need life insurance or mortgage protection or a final expense. They have not indicated an interest. They've indicated an interest in what? The child safety kit or a free car or a free trip to Cabo, whatever it is. I'm talking about a high-quality lead program where they've mailed back a form that does nothing but talk about mortgage protection or final expense, and they filled out the form, or they've called back in and spoke to somebody on the phone, or they went through a computerized voice, and again, they've received the letter, they've responded once or twice, and that gets kicked out to us, to you and I, as a lead that we can participate in. And the various costs of that lead only depend on how old that lead is. The freshest lead is going to be the most expensive. As it sits there for 4, 5, 6 weeks and no one sells it a product, it should, it should be passed down to another agent at a lesser cost. Now, if you're with the right kind of IMO, you're not losing that lead. You own it. It's not for rent. You bought it, right? But you now may be competing with another agent inside of your company, or even with another company that now has bought that as a maybe this is a B lead, right? And it's cheaper, right? And then as it sits there for a while, then it goes to a C lead. Some IMOs, as a means of trying to recover their cost in that lead, have 9 or 10 different variations. They go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 50 cents, whatever, and they're constantly reselling that lead. And that's okay. They're trying to recover the cost that they have in their direct mail program. I get it, whatever, it's fine. Here's what I have a problem with. When they sell you a lead that's 6 years old and they sold it to you as brand new. You call the guy up and say, I don't know why you called me today. I sold the house 6 years ago. That's the problem. And so you have to make sure, and I've been with some of these companies, I can help you with that conversation if you want to give me a call to make sure. Actually, I've got a video that's coming up very soon that will go through all the things that you need to be looking at when you're comparing IMOs. And go take a look at that video. It should be up on YouTube very soon, or there's a link up here that you can click on, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and continue our conversation, right? So we've talked about the high-quality lead program, what you should expect. Now, I'm going to read off a few questions I get all the time that have come into me the last couple of weeks, and I'm going to read it off my iPad, if you don't mind. So it says, why do I need to participate in the leads program? Well, you don't need to participate in the leads program. That's what I'm saying, right? You can work the friends, family, and neighbors model. You can go out and knock on doors, and you can run your own form of advertising. My argument to that, or I would challenge you to your thinking is thinking, right? In that you should do all those things aside from maybe knocking on doors. No one likes to do that, and you'll get burnt out rather quickly. You should market your business, right? But it depends on whether or not you can appreciate buying a lead that someone has expressed interest, so you're always closing face-to-face with the customers and spend less time prospecting. And that's really what I want you to understand today, is that, as long as you understand the leads, how they're generated, and you're with an IMO that produces a high-quality lead, there's really no risk involved as long as you learn some few basic skills and you cash flow your business. Now, if you can't afford leads, that's fantastic. You can still survive in this business. I would do the friends, family, and neighbors model and generate, because look, 50% of the Americans in this country don't have what we sell, right? And 53% of them lost their home, death, or disability, right? So we have something everybody needs. So you can certainly generate some sales on a part-time basis that will give you money. We get paid very well here for what we do. As long as you're on the right compensation plan with the right IMO, you should be making a minimum of 70%, minimum, starting out brand new, right? And again, if you're not doing that, give me a call. We'll talk about it. But the point is that you get paid very well for what we do. So you can go out there and do a couple of sales and very easily generate $1,000, $2,000 in a couple of weeks or less. Then you can turn into an investment into some leads. Leads are not an expense. Well, according to the IRS, they are. But to us, they're an investment because we're investing in our business, and that allows us to get into someone else's door to talk to them about our product. So you don't have to participate, right? So that's my first part of that answer. The second part is that imagine that if you had any of those businesses that we saw when I went out and hit the road, and your only resource was friends, family, and neighbors. you'd be out of business really fast, right? So while you should be doing that, it will not ever give you consistent and scalable income every week, because it's going to fluctuate based on how much prospecting that you're going to do. See, so my income is fairly consistent because I'm working the same amount of leads every week, and it can rise when I get a referral or when I get I meet somebody out in the, at a restaurant or whatever that wants a quote, and that's great. But I know I'm making X amount of dollars every single week based on the number of leads I'm working, right? So my next question is, why are they so expensive? Well, it's one of my favorites. But here's the deal: they're expensive because direct mail is expensive. It costs these IMOs somewhere between $80 and $100 to produce a lead. The average cost of a fresh lead in this industry, believe it or not, is about $65. So you want to be with an IMO that co-ops your leads, your fresh leads, and that's what we do, right? So you're not having to invest 100% in what it costs to generate that lead, right? They're co-oping with you. So again, look for that. One of the points that you ought to be looking at with your current IMO or with the IMO that you're looking to join. Let's see what else we have here. Do I have to buy them up front, or do you deduct them from my commission? Yes, you had to buy them up front. Right? Going back to McDonald's, the car wash, they had to do all that construction. They had to do hire all the employees. They had to stock the freezers full of their raw materials, turn the water on, get the coffee in the store, whatever it was. All that had to come up front before they actually served their first customer and bring that sale into the cash register. So you do have to buy them up front. It's no different than any other business that you're involved in, right? So look, all businesses have to advertise, and leads are our advertising costs. The great news, or the message here is that everybody needs our product. So you can cash flow your business, like I said, by working maybe your warm market initially. But at some point, you're going to want to shift over to a leads-based model with a high-quality lead program from an IMO, right? Because that allows you to be in the business full-time and make a lot of money in this industry, multiple six figures. You should be able to earn $50,000 to $100,000 a year if you were the right IMO on a part-time basis, working maybe 2 or 3 nights a week. If you're on a leads program, that's really the kicker, okay? If you're doing prospecting, it's going to be very difficult to generate that kind of income, even on a full-time basis, right? So hopefully this video has helped some of you understand that you had to shift from an employee mindset where everything's given to you to a business mindset where the sky's the limit when it comes to your income, but you're going to have it a bit of a runway. You're going to have some money to invest in your business. Can you start out with no money? Absolutely, and I can tell you how to do that, and I've shared some principles with you on this video today, right? But it's powerful that we're able to participate in a leads program that have asked us to give them a call. We know they're interested because they fill out a form. All we have to do is improve our skills, and those are learning to buy leads, how to manage, learning to buy leads, how to manage your cash flow, learn maybe a short phone script, make the dials, set the appointments, go run those appointments, and learn how to make a short presentation at home, write some applications, and then all you got to do from there is rinse and repeat. If you can learn those skills, I just rattled off right there, you can go anywhere in any state, in any city, and make a living. Those are skills, and as your skills improve, then the better the lead program becomes. Right? So you want to start out slow, cash flow your business, maybe work on older leads that are less expensive, and then as you start generating some income, graduate to a brand new, fresh program, fresh lead program with an IMO that produces a high quality, integrity based lead. That's it, right? So having a leads-based sales opportunity is powerful. So having a high-quality lead program with an IMO that has integrity, backed up by world-class technology, is powerful. And the reason why that is that the lead is supposed to come out of the system when you or I make a sale, right? So we don't have agents buying a lead where they've already bought a product. So look, we all have closing ratios, and as we're starting out, yours may be 25% of the appointments that you run, you're going to close, right? So if you sit down with 4 people, you're going to close 1 out of 4 apps. Now you know if I spend $100 on leads, I'm going to make $1,000, right? Whatever it is, right? Depending on your contract rate. And also, contract rate isn't necessarily commission rate across all the products set by your carrier, so make sure you understand that as well. But you'll know, basically, if I spend $100, I'm going to make $700, right? And then all you're doing is improving your skills, and you're going to be able to go to maybe a 30% closing ratio, 40% closing ratio, whatever it is, right? If you understand the law of large numbers in this industry, and I have those numbers because we've been around long enough to know, based on 100,000 leads distributed to the sales force and writing 30 to 35,000 families or policies, right, protecting 35 and protecting 35 or 40,000 families with policies to protect their mortgage or final expense, I can give you an exact number of what the closing ratio is if you're average. You may be below average, you may be above average. It's called the law of large numbers. The law of small numbers, when you've only been around for a couple of months, whatever, will always lie to you. But if you can take data from several years, you have a pretty good gauge that if I spend X, I'll get Y. And then it's just a matter of improving your skill sets, right? So again, we have a video. It's called The Law of Large Numbers. I encourage you to go watch that. I'm going to break down exactly what the industry numbers are and what you can expect if you're average. And then when you get out in the field, let's just say you're below average. Maybe instead of closing 50%, you're at 30%. Well, now you know that, and you can manage your cash flow. Totally different subject, but I hope that you'll go watch that video because it's powerful. Bottom line is that you want to manage your cash flow, you want to manage your beef patties, you want to manage how many leads that you have, because the more leads that you have, the more chance you're going to have to set those X number of appointments. Let's just say you need to make 2,000 a week. Now you're going to know exactly how many leads that you need to buy and you need to dial to set the appointments to get the leads. Again, going back to the law of large numbers, if I buy 10 leads, I'm not going to get 10 appointments. How many appointments will I get? Well, that's the question that you need to find out so you can manage your cash flow and feel good about it, right? So I appreciate you being here today. Look, here's the bottom line. Beef patties, leads, make the investment, stay in business, cash flow yourself. Our business is very simple. It's not complicated. We get a lead, we make a dial, we book an appointment, we go and run that appointment, and we write an app, right? And then we just do that over and over again. Have a great time. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's do me a favor and put some comments. Some of you have done that already below the video about topics or conversations you'd like to have on video here. We'll do that. But hit the bell bar below. That means it gives you instant notifications of any new videos. And then I'd appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. But again, engage, and that way we can all learn from each other, right? And be successful. Listen, this is a $1 trillion industry, 88 million people strong. Right? And so you can succeed in this business if you have the right coach and the right mentor and a company or IMO that doesn't put a lid on your business. Right? Bye-bye now.